Alright guys, on this video I want to talk about different type of closet flanges, underneath the toilet. What they're for, different ways to repair them. There's a lot of different things you could do to repair a toilet. And there's all kinds of flanges. There's cast iron. This one is extra heavy. A service weight one will have a lip on the inside here. This is an extra heavy one, which is different diameter on the inside. I got a 4-inch PVC, goes over the 4-inch. This one here is what they call a 4x3. Okay, 3-inch goes inside, and 4-inch it goes inside 4-inch. It's a 4x3. That's a very common one. This one here is a street. This one will go inside a 3-inch PVC fitting. 3-inch street. The 4x3 is the very common one. Now they also make these, and they got a metal ring on them. Now, I will not buy those because what happens is the metal ring will rot away. There's also, replacement rings that you could buy, split rings to repair them ones if you're stupid enough to put them in. There's different type of, repair rings that I had in the truck. This one here goes inside 4-inch pipe. It's a compression type, 4-inch cast iron or 4-inch PVC. You tighten it up on the inside to tighten it down. This one is what you call a twist and set. It's got a rubber gasket in there. You stick it inside and then you twist it to tighten it up. I use these like if I ever get a lead bend on an old style house and there's no flange on the floor, I'll pop that rubber off and I'll just drop this right inside the lead bend and screw it to the floor. There's some things I'm going to talk about with closet flanges. What you need to, is an extension kit. There's different size extension kits that you could buy. If you have to raise the flange up, if it's below the floor, they make extension kits. There's different type of repair kits also. But I'm going to go over all. This is a spanner flange. So if you have this closet flange in there, this is what a closet screw looks like. Okay, basically, once you got your toilet flange set, you want to be, square across here wherever you set this flange. So and what happens is this will slide in like this, and you'll have two of them obviously, in line square with the wall. And what the theory is, this is screwed to the floor, the flange is fastened to the pipe, and then the toilet gets bolted down on these bolts, and the toilet gets pulled down from these bolts to the floor. And then you'd have a wax on the inside of this between the toilet and the pipe. Yeah, that's where your seal is to keep out the smell. Now, if you look on the side of a toilet, it'll have a built-in trap. There's water in the toilet. That's what the water does in the toilet. It stops the sewer gas from coming in. So the wax, you can see, there's a picture of it. The wax will go between the toilet and the flange. Now, I want to talk about the wax. I'm going to go over a bunch of things here. There's different type of closet bolts. There's closet screws. But I'm going to talk about all that. There's different type of stuff. So that's the theory there. Now, first thing I want to talk about with any kind of flange on any kind of toilet, if you have a floor, a tile floor, or whatever kind of floor, this has to be on top of the tile floor. Okay? If you're going to put a new tile floor in, and you're going to raise your toilet up and your flange is like this, well, guess what? You need an extension flange. That's where those come in handy. There's different sizes. You have to be above the floor, by about 1/8 of an inch or something like that. Above the finished floor. The flange has to be screwed down very well, 4 screws to the floor. Because if not, when you tighten your toilet up, you'll pull that flange right off the floor if it's not fastened right, and the toilet could rock. So that's why you'll see bolts here, holes to bolt the flange to the floor after it's fastened down. Well, like I said, on the PVC stuff, there are ways to clean that PVC pipe up, or, cut it with a Sawzall. I got a special reamer to go in there and ream out the stuff if you have to. But if you get the ones with the rings, like I talk about, it's like a blue ring that can spin anyway, them will rot out. And they do make repair kits. This is one style. Unbolted, it slides right out. But some of them, they're different sizes I found. This is a spanner flange. Okay, so you got a cast iron flange like this, or a PVC flange that's broken. That lip's broken right off, and this thing is, just floating there. What you can do is you get the 1/4 inch. It's gotta be. This is a 5/16. Now you can get 5/16 or 1/4 inch closet bolts. I kind of like the 1/4 inch ones because they're easier to cut later. But this one is 5/16. Here's a 1/4. Here's a 5/16. There is a difference. Okay. Now, if you can see, these are good brass closet bolts. You can tell they're brass by looking at them. Now, you can tell this one here is white metal. I don't know if you guys can see the difference, but I can tell just by looking at it. It's got kind of a green tint to it. See how it's got like a green tint to it? That sucker will rot out. That's got a lot of metal properties in it. You can see this is a nice brass color. It's got that yellow color to it. Brass, you can tell. See how it's got that almost like a neon greenish. That's a real long one. That's for extender flanges. If your flange is in the floor and you put some extender flanges, you got to go with longer bolts, so the bolts can pull the toilet down. All right, so getting back to the spanner flange. If this is cracked, okay, what you could do is you got to put the 1/4 inch or 5/16 bolt in first underneath, like that. Okay, and then you slide this, you tap this underneath with a hammer. And they'll go right in. They'll go right in the slot because obviously they'll be broken there, so they'll slide right in there. And that's what they call a spanner flange. Spanner flange or grabber flange. Grabber or clear flange. Let me see, I got a package here. I use a lot of these. If I change in the toilet and one side of the flange is broken, even if it's PVC and it's broken, I'll slide one of these in there. Now, there's another thing you can do. The only thing you have to do is bolt the toilet to the floor. If the flange is cracked, you could repair it. There's another thing you could do. If your floor is not all rotted away and wet, they got what they call a closet screw. Okay? So your flange is broken. You could screw this wood. It's wood threads, and then this is, the regular threads for the nuts. This closet screw, you could screw this down into the floor. What I recommend you do is take a tape measure, measure the toilet, how much you need sticking up above the floor for this to bolt the toilet down. So when you put this in the floor, use double nuts over here, so you don't muck up the threads. Put double nuts in there. And what I usually do is drill a small hole, or hit it with a screwdriver or something to get a hole started. And I'll get this screwed right into the floor. Right? And you want to make sure you know what your height should be before you start screwing it in. So once you get it screwed where you want, you can put your toilet down. You'll be okay. Very important. It's called a closet screw. Now, they make short ones. I only buy the long ones. I only buy the 3.5. So buy the 2 1/4. They're going to be too flipping short. Don't buy them. Now, you only can use this, a lot of times you'll come here and the floor will be all wet and soft. These won't work because they won't grab into the wood. It's got to be good wood. So I will use these in a pinch sometimes, once in a while. Closet screws. Right. This is a good one right here. This works good for cast iron pipe. I'll use this twist and set a lot of times. This will work good. You stick that in there, then you can see it's beveled. Then you put it in there, and I usually hit it with a screwdriver and tighten it up. Tighten it right up inside the pipe. Get my flange where I want it, and then it's got to be bolted down with 4 good bolts, nice big wooden screw bolts. The flange on top of the floor. Okay. So once you get your flange all repaired in the proper height, you know, see? I wouldn't, on these here, I wouldn't, you know, as long as the flange is screwed to the floor, you could drop these right on, drop this right on the flange. It's got a little lip on it. I wouldn't worry about, you could silicone that if you want, put a little silicone on there, but I wouldn't worry about it. It'll be okay. It's a pretty tight fit, you know, as long as this is clean good, and you put that on there, and you put your wax on the top, you're going to be good. Now we're going to talk about waxes. Alright, we're going to talk about waxes and why I only use this style of wax. Now they make a wax like this, a regular basic wax, that's got no plastic horn on it. Okay? And they also make one that's in a bigger box that's got a plastic funnel, you know, horn on the wax. Now, over the years, years of being a plumber, so I've been a plumber for over 30 years. This is the deal with the wax, okay? The wax just seals, the toilet, between the toilet and, just to stop the sewer gas from coming up. So the theory is when you dump the toilet just dumps into the pipe. Now what happens if you use the kind that's got the funnel on there, what happens is the funnel, you know, basically, you know, takes up some of the space of the pipe. It's smaller than the pipe most of the times. And what will happen is, when you first put it in, it'll be okay, but then every time they sit on the toilet and push back, they push back a little bit. So what happens is, the toilet ends up pushing back, but the wax stays in the middle type of thing with that funnel. And what I found with those is, most of the time when I come to a job where they're complaining about water on the floor, a little bit of water on the floor, and it's not coming from the tank, it's that flipping funnel wax. What happens is, instead of the toilet dumping into the pipe, okay, it's hitting that funnel and splashing back onto the floor. So that's why, if I ever get one of those, people buy toilets and they want me to hook them up and they buy one of them wax that's got that black funnel, I'll cut that son of a bitch out with my scissors. I will not use them. I've changed more waxes for, you know, problems with water on the floor because of the wax. You wouldn't believe how many. It's ridiculous. So that's not something I learned in school. That's something I learned in years in the trade. Just a little tech tip. Use a regular wax. You have less problems. You know, that's the way to go. Alright, so hopefully this little video had helped a couple of guys with closet, you know, questions about closet flanges. Obviously with the lead and oak, this one would be lead and oakum in. You use oakum and then you pour heat lead up, melt it in there, and then cork it in. But that's another story for another day. Don't forget, it's got to be bolted down to the floor, secured, and you got to have 2 closet bolts. One other thing I want to talk about is this is the type of closet bolt I like to use right here. Closet bolt will slide in like that. Okay. And then this is adjustable down. You know, then if you see this is a cap. See how it's got the thing? This has to go in a certain way. You'd have your toilet down there, you drop this cap on. You know, you put your washer and your nut. And then this would snap onto the cap. That's another thing I wanted to talk about. See, that cap has to go like that. You know, you put the cap on, you'd put your washer, and then a nut. Well, this style right here, that's what they call them, fast set. Fast set bolts.com. They're out of New York. These are very good because you can adjust them. I don't have to worry about cutting them. Now they do make a special hacksaw for cutting closet bolts. It's a little tiny saw. I got one in the truck. Because once this is in, you have to cut this to be able to get the cap on. If not, the cap won't go down. Alright guys, hopefully this helps somebody. And I'll be bringing more videos very shortly.